Hi, I'm Paul Ventress, hatter and owner of Paul Ventress Bespoke Hatters. Behind me you can see my quite large collection of wooden hat blocks. Every block that you see here has been handcrafted by the team at Guy Morse-Brown Hat Blocks. With many milliners and such, you'll find lots of different shaped blocks where the shape defines the actual shape of the crown itself. Hatters generally work in quite a different way, and myself especially, I work mostly with a lot of blocks that are called open crown, and I'm going to explain a few of those to you now. Here I've got 6 different open crown blocks. Each of these are all exactly the same size, but they are different shapes. That's what we refer to as the profile. Now, the profile of each block is going to define the final shape of the crown of the hat once it's been formed over it. Some of them are rounder on the top, some of them are flatter on the top, and this can make a huge difference to the finished results and the effects that you can get in each hat shape. First of all, I'm going to start with this open crown block. This has got a very domed open profile, and we'd usually use something like this to create bowler hats. Now I'm going to show you the basic blocking process now. So this felt's been steaming for a little while to get it nice and soft and pliable, and I'm going to pull it down over my block. So a lot of men's style hats begin with pushing a crease into the crown. Now if it's completely domed, that means it's got quite a tall point. Whatever I push into the hat is going to be a recessed mirror image of what is protruding out from the hat. So I'll show you that now. Okay, so I've put in a real simple centre crease on that. It's very lopsided, but it has caused a huge amount of material to be pushed inside the hat. There isn't even going to be enough room inside there for someone's head. So that's where other shape, other profile open crown blocks come into use. So this next open crown block, it's got a slightly tapered side and not as domed on top, so slightly flatter. Let's get a felt on here now and see what we can make using this block. Let's do a traditional fedora crown in this felt. So as I mentioned, the profile of this particular block is good for men's fedoras because it's slightly flatter on the top, meaning that when I push this centre crease down the centre of this felt, it doesn't push as much material inside the hat. Okay, so very roughly put in what's known as a teardrop crown on that one. Now because it's flatter on the top, I haven't had to push as much material inside the hat, which is going to leave enough headroom in there. So I also mentioned that the sides of many open crown blocks are tapered, and there is a reason for that. So the reason for the taper on the sides is that when you push material into the centre of a crown to create a crease, what it does is forces the sides out at the top, making it more vertical, or in some cases even getting wider at the top than it is at the bottom. This open crown block is commonly what's called a number 52 profile. Let's get a felt blocked on here, and I'm going to show you why this particular profile block is extremely useful for creating Western style cowboy hats. So the number 52 profile is quite distinctive and easily recognisable. So generally you will find that it is straighter on the sides, but more tapered the front and back. And that helps to create lots of different style Western hats. Let's do the classic cattleman's crease to demonstrate how that works. So with the cattleman's crease, you do a centre crease straight down the centre. That is going to force the front and back out at the top, making it less tapered. And because this block is also flatter on the top, it means as we're pushing that material in, we're not pushing so much inside the hat that someone's head isn't going to fit in there. And this is why this particular block is absolutely perfect for making a cattleman's crease. The way that the sides are more straight and vertical than the front and the back really lends itself well to creating this shape hat. And there we go. So that shows how the number 52 block is absolutely perfect for creating Western styles such as the cattleman's crease. This profile is what's commonly referred to as a Carlsbad block, and it's predominantly for one thing only, and that is Western hats. It's got this tapered shape to it, 7 inches tall on this one for making those really, really tall crowned cowboy hats. Let's make one now. So that's felt blocked over the Carlsbad profile blocks. This was really used heavily in the Western movies of the 1950s and such, and one particular style. You'll have all seen it before. Let's make it now. There we go, a very, very exaggerated looking Western style crown. But it gives you the example of, again, how you can change the shape of another style open crown and it results in completely different hats. Now, we can't talk about men's hats without talking about the classic top hat. So in the late 1790s, men's hats changed from your typical riding hat or round hat that was shaped over a circular base block like this to the shape that we know today as the classic top hat. Now, this posed a particular problem for the hat makers and the hat block makers. So the modern top hat shape, the crown, is narrower at the bottom than it is at the top. So when you've blocked a piece of material, a felt, over this, you can't actually remove it. So I'm going to block a felt over this now, and I'm going to show you how the hat block makers got around this particular problem. So that's this felt blocked over this top hat crown block. So as I mentioned, this poses a bit of a problem as the base of this crown is narrower than the top. So there's absolutely no way I can pull this out of here. So the hatters and hat block makers had to devise a clever solution to this problem. So essentially, what they came up with is what we today refer to as a 5-part puzzle block, or just a puzzle block. And it's called that because the block comes apart into various pieces, like so. Therefore allowing me to remove it from the hat without damaging the hat itself. There we go. So these blocks are absolute precision engineering and a testament to the skill of the hat block makers. Having these wooden blocks created by a skilled hat block maker doesn't just mean that I know I've got the correct block and profile for every hat shape and style I want to make. It also means I've got tools that are going to last me a lifetime.